follow-up of the Balance project, and I'm developing new technology as smart grid solution to increase the flexibility of the distribution grid in particular, and also to help distribution system operator in general grid asset to exploit renewables while ensuring security of supply and a secure, reliable grid. To do so, the ebalance-plus project explodes several technologies, among other smart energy management unit, which are able to acquire data from sensor at the customer premises or at the strategic point in the distribution grid, process this data and provide control signal for the different assets that we have in the grid. Like we have, of course, a middleware for data exchange, because in the smart grid we have several systems that have to communicate to each other, and they have to exchange information. And they have to exchange information in a secret way, and ensuring privacy of the different system and stakeholders. And it's also important to have prediction models that are able to forecast, to provide a good forecast of that one can be the energy demand of the production of renewables, that as well know are stochastic and intermittent sources. And the different technology will be tested in 4 different demo sites across Europe, a demo site in Denmark that I'm going to present in more detail in the following slide, and 3 other demo, one in Italy, one in the south of Italy, one in France, in Lille, and another one in Spain, and exactly at the University of Malaga. Regarding the demo, the Danish demo, we are going to use 30 summer houses with an indoor swimming pool provided by the rental company Novasol. And this summer house will be equipped with this smart control management unit in order to exploit the thermal capacity of the water content of the swimming pool and implement load management strategies such as load shifting strategies, driven by the control by price signals or CO2 intensity signal. And here you can see the demo site, how it look like. So we have a picture of one of the summer house, and on the right hand side we can see the CA, the control management unit, that is the black box that receives signal from the different energy system that we have in the building, like smart meter, the electric boiler, or the valve that control the flow rate to the swimming pool. These data are acquired to the CMU, and the CMU can also communicate with the ebalance-plus platform to receive the price signal or the other grid signal from the grid. And based on this information, can optimize at the minimum cost or in order to minimize the CO2 emission of the system, while performing the management of the heating system of the swimming pool. Thank you. I'll give the word to the other presenter.
Thank you, Francesco. My name is Denica Kuzeva, and I'm a project manager in Albena, and I will present you the XFlex project and our pilot site in Albena. Next slide. So the XFlex project will design, develop, and demonstrate a set of tools that enable and facilitate the use of flexibility in the power system in efficient and cost-effective manner, with special attention to extreme weather conditions. The 4 products that will be developed within the XFlex project are Serviflex, that is responsible for the integrated flexibility management tool, MarketFlex, which is market platform and new market mechanisms design, the GridFlex tool, that is advanced tool for automatic control and observation, and the Xplex flexible and scalable and integrated platform. The project has 4 pilot sites, 2 in Slovenia, Ravne na Koroškem and Luce, 1 in Greece, Xanthi, and the one that I'm going to present you in Albena, Bulgaria. Next slide. So Albena is a resort city in the Black Sea coast with a fluctuating energy demand. We are preliminary summer resort with much lower energy consumption during the winter months. We have 33 hotels with over 20,000 people capacity. The assets that we use in the project are 200 kilowatt hour battery, a biogas power plant, 1 megawatt thermal and 1 megawatt electric, different boiler installations within the different hotels, and 1 rooftop PV system with 27 kilowatt peak. What we demonstrate within the project is flexibility on the commercial side, especially as a microgrid operator, the cooperation between us and the TSO. We demonstrate demand-side management, self-optimization, and we provide ancillary services to the TSO. We also establish a flexibility market, and we plan to participate it within and after the project as well. Next slide. You can see the resort here with all the hotels. And on the top corner, you can see our biogas power plant and one of the boiler systems that we use for MFRR services for the TSO and as a balancing service. And I think that it would be good to open the stage for questions since we were a bit late. Francesco, can you go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Yes, this was from us, and now we are open for the audience, questions from the audience. If you would like, you can go on stage, and or you can also ask in the chat.
Have a function. You have the ability to raise your hand to ask to come on stage. Do not hesitate to use it.
There is one question in the chat. What is the biggest challenge in your project? Maybe Francesco, as you presented the project.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Thank you for the question, Mara. And for instance, we saw that, of course, we have several challenges when we talk about flexibility and especially at distribution grid level. We have technical challenges that are related to the development of this platform. Now, where we have to build infrastructure to allow the communication between among the system that may present very different features. And also, for instance, another problem can be the regulatory aspect, where, for instance, there is still not a clear framework for the DSO operation, for the establishment of a flexibility market for DSO, as well as the interaction between the DSO and other market player or the same TSO. Although all these aspects are that are discussed at the regulatory level.
I can also add here that for holiday resorts, I think that I'm not going to be wrong to include all like your holiday resort as well, that the biggest challenge is for now the COVID-19. It's presents the highest risk in the project for our pilot side, especially because we don't know what will happen to tourism and how the future tourism will look like within this COVID-19 situation. We have the green certificates, we have many restrictions. Many hotels are closing now because they cannot make profit because people don't want to go to holidays anymore. So this is a great challenge. There are also technical risks related to the installations, but still I would say that COVID-19 is the biggest challenge here. Another question from Raquel. What are the... Sorry?
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so what are the socioeconomic or environmental impact we estimated? Well, for sure, if we are able to enable to unlock these flexibility services, for instance, in our case for the summer house in Denmark, but we can achieve, of course, we can contribute to a greater use of renewable energy sources, so we can reduce the carbon emissions, and of course we can also contribute to the development of a new business case for the different grid player that in turn will create also more job opportunity from the socioeconomical point of view.
In our project, we just started the work package that is actually dealing with the socioeconomic impacts, and we didn't make any estimations yet. So maybe for the next Sustainable Energy Week, we'll have a good answer to this question from the XFlex project.
Yeah.
What was the greatest motivation to participate in this type of project?
So sorry to interrupt. So sorry. Would it be just better to stop sharing the screen so we can see you better? Thank you. Sorry.
So we have been working in different projects in Albena. So for example, the Invade project, we have developed the battery and the photovoltaic system, and we wanted to continue in this direction. And such projects such as XFlex was the natural continuation of our work, and we really are looking for different ways for to boost our how do I say this? We are looking for different ways to expand our market and not only sell holidays, but also to go into the energy market, and we want to be participant in the energy market. And so we wanted to look more into that, especially now when the price of electricity go higher, and we want to be energy efficient for to lower our bills, but also to increase our revenues.
Yeah, there is another question from Daria. What chances do summer houses offer with regards to energy flexibility, and who can profit the most? Well, summer houses offer great chance to explore flexibility, especially if equipped with a swimming pool, since the water content of the swimming pool like a thermal energy storage. So we can explore the high thermal nature of the water content to implement these demand response strategies by decoupling the demand from the production, and so we can explore this feature to implement demand response, and consequently we have that regarding the benefit of this action, we have on the one hand the grid operator, for instance the DSO, who can explore this flexibility, for instance for solving grid congestion, or for keeping the voltage within the desired band. At the same time, we can see benefit for the owners of for the company owner who own this summer house, because if we will be able to establish this flexibility market, it's also a way to exploit and to open a new business for the same company and flexibility provider. Yeah. There is another question.
Yes.
How can the EU regulatory framework play a role in providing energy flexibility in this kind of building? Well, right now, I think that we still need to work on the regulatory framework. And for instance, right now, we can exploit, at the building level, we can exploit variable electricity prices to adapt our energy consumption in order to achieve to use during those moments that are more convenient also for the power grid, for proper operation of the power grid, while also achieving cost saving from our side. But yeah, for instance, if for instance the DSO will be able to for instance, if the DSO will be able to exploit the distribution tariff to drive the end user consumption, it will be a benefit for the DSO, that they can unlock this flexibility. But at the same time, for the end user, that they have a further incentive to be flexible.
There is another one from Maria.
Yeah. Are the resort visitors aware of your clean energy effort? And if yes, do they consider this effort as a motivation and advantage for them to visit your resort? Well, we have seen Denmark that there is people pay a lot of attention, or I mean, I start to be really sensible um, to this topic. And in the Danish case, there is a direct benefit, economical benefit, because in this summer house the visitor are responsible for paying the electricity bill. So being able to reduce this cost will also they can also benefit from these advantages. But more than the economic part, I would say that people start to be really aware of the environmental crisis that we are living. So uh, be knowing that they can contribute to reducing the emission and contribute to this transition, I'm sure that will incentivize them.
In our case, we try to promote sustainability practices that we use. We have a sustainability development strategy, and we're trying to promote it on our website, and also we will try to promote it more in each hotel. And when we ask people if they are willing to pay more for more sustainable vacation, they would normally say yes. But in general, I'm not sure how many of them really are really care, and if they will be really engaged into the practices that we use. But in In theory, yes, everyone is welcoming the sustainability in the hotel resort.
Sorry, please note that we still have less than 2 minutes before 2 p.m.
Okay, so maybe this is the last question. What are the main lessons learned from being participate in this R&D project?
Well, in our case, we learned that most of the time it's people may have a different people work on the same topic if they came from different background may have different view of the same concept. For instance, I can take the example of energy flexibility. So sometimes when we have to talk with different stakeholders, we have to be aware that we are on the same at the same point, on the same level of the discussion. Otherwise, this can bring to misunderstanding.
Yes. And I think that we can close the session now because we have 1 minute. So it's good to say thank you and for being with us. And I think it was a very interesting discussion.
Yeah, thank you to everybody.
And we hope to see you again next year with more outcomes of the project.